Are we okay now?
Yeah, we are okay. We are in the studio already. We are live. I just need to share the links so that people can join us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. If you are live with us currently, I would kindly plead with you to share the live streams on your WhatsApp group, your Facebook pages, and invite people to join us, because this is going to be a very interesting and educative session this afternoon, this evening, and this morning, wherever you'll be watching us from. So we'll be starting very soon. So if you are joining, like I said, please kindly share the live stream and invite people. We will be starting very shortly. Thank you very much, Admin Sec. Thank you for joining. Kindly share and invite others to join us. So we'll be starting in the next 1 minute as Doctor prepares himself. Today it's going to be fire.
I'm ready.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you all. Allow me to use this opportunity to once again wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. I hope that during this time of love and celebration, you will extend a hand of kindness or a hand of fellowship to somebody in need, because that is what Christmas is all about. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we turn to our attention to one of the most brutal and neglected conflict of our time, the Ambazonian crisis, or the Southern Cameroon's crisis. For over 7 years, the people of Ambazonia have endured untold suffering at the hands of Cameroonian government, a regime that continued to act with impunity why the world looks or turn its face away from what is happening in Ambazonia. The facts are harrowing. Over 6,000, that is based on international human rights report, but based from eyewitness report and head count in the communities, we can tell you that over 30,000 people have been killed. So the 6,000 is an estimate by international human rights organizations who have even been, prohibited from entering the territory to conduct their research. However, Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International are of the opinion that this is the number that has been killed. But we, the people of Ambazonia, amongst our communities, we can tell you that more than 30,000 have been killed. Entire villages have been razed, leaving communities in ashes. More than 1.4 million people have been displaced, with hundreds of thousands forced into refugee camps in Nigeria, according to the United Nations Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA. Ladies and gentlemen, children have been spared from nightmares. Schools have been targeted in deliberate arson attacks, depriving an entire generation of their rights to education. And we know the importance of education in the life of every child. Hospitals have been burned, and medical workers have been harassed or killed, leaving the sick and wounded with nowhere to turn to. Hospitals have been militarized in Ambazonia. Healthcare workers have been harassed at point blank, harassing them and forcing them not to treat people who come in for medical attention. The Norwegian Refugee Council has named the Ambazonian crisis multiple times as the most neglected conflict in the world, and the world is remaining silent, doing nothing about all of these findings in Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, the horrors do not stop there. Reports by BBC, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch paint a chilling picture of arbitrary arrests, tortures, and forced disappearances happening within Ambazonia. Rape as a weapon in Ambazonia. Cameroon government uses sexual violence as a weapon of war. It has left women and girls traumatized for life. Children bearing children. They have used young men to rape their own mothers. The Committee Against Torture, that is a CAT committee that sat last in November, has documented systematic abuses, and yet Cameroon chairs the United Nations General Assembly and sits on the United Nations Human Rights Council. This is absurd and even unthinkable. To think that Cameroon positioned itself in very high positions where human rights itself was burdened is what we must question and ask the world where its values are. Despite overwhelming evidence, ladies and gentlemen, of these atrocities, the international community has failed to act decisively. The silence is deafening. Even at the flames of oppression, as they consume Ambazonia, European operations have profited from exploitative deals with Cameroon regime, embodying it to carry out its reign of terror in Ambazonia. Sorry, I got distracted by that call. But ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, we still have lovers of justice across the globe. All hope is not lost. The Pan-African Forum Limited UK, led by the fearless advocates, has stepped forward to demand justice. They have petitioned the European Union and the International Criminal Court, urging accountability for the Biya regime. Recently, They also filed a petition with the Commonwealth Secretariat calling for Cameroon's suspension from the Commonwealth of Nations, a bold move that challenges the world to uphold its moral obligation. Again, ladies and gentlemen, today I am joined by Dr. David Masanga, an esteemed Pan-Africanist, a defender of human rights, and the chairperson of the Pan-African Forum Limited UK. Dr. Masanga is well known for his activism and mediation in African conflicts. He played a critical role in negotiating peace during the Lord Resistance Army conflict in Uganda, advocated for justice in the Kenyan-Somalia maritime border dispute, and supported Pan-African solution to African problems. Dr. Masanga's approach reflects his deep commitment to challenging imperialist dynamics, supporting African sovereignty, and amplifying the voices of oppressed communities. His leadership has been instrumental in shaping global awareness of the atrocities in Ambazonia, aligning with the Pan-African Forum's bold submission to the European Union, the ICC, the Commonwealth of Nations. We have here with us Dr. Masanga. In the context of the Ambazonian crisis, these submissions also bring to light the illegal arrest and detention of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, the leader advocating for the Ambazonian self-determination. By spotlighting Cameroon's systematic human rights violations, these actions are a significant step towards holding BR regime accountable and ensuring justice for victims in Ambazonia. Dr. Masanga, people, ladies and gentlemen, the people of Ambazonia have faced genocidal violence, yet their cries for help have been ignored. As a Pan-African lead, the Pan-African lead, the charge for justice, how can the international community, the African Union, and the global institution break their silence and act diversively to end the suffering in Ambazonia? So, before I begin in this questioning, Doctor, once again, you are welcome in the studio. I hope you're having a fantastic time, and I hope I did justice introducing that which you've done. And I know for a fact that you have been one person that stood for Ambazonia since the onset of this revolution, since 2016. So yes. Once again, sir, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, my sister from Southern Cameroon. Thank you very much, listeners across the world, the continent of Africa, in America, in Europe, China, Russia, South Africa, Southern America. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
First, I just want to say thank you. You wrapped up exactly who I am. You left one thing out.
Okay.
I removed the sanctions against Zimbabwe.
All right.
I removed, stopped Tony Blair from evading and causing chaos against Mugabe. The only man in sub-Saharan Africa who went to the European Court of Justice, filed an application. Why? 27 judges should tell me why sanctions that were imposed on Zimbabwe in 2002 have never worked. When Catherine Bond, the British Baroness, a friend of mine, called me and said, let's sort this out of court. Because 27 judges were going to give me the verdict. I would have carried a lot of money. They suspended, they removed the sanctions on Zimbabwe ministers during Mugabe's time to fly into Europe, but not Mugabe and the wife. When they went back to Mugabe, Mugabe said, it's all right, I've traveled enough of the world. You have succeeded in filing these applications. Thank you, my brother. Let the ministers fly.
Perfect.
I have been involved in quite a number of things. I'm involved in the Biafran struggle against Muhammad Buhari. I hate him. I don't like to see him. And if he ever steps in London again, I've filed and put an application in the Old Bailey seeking a summons for Muhammad Buhari to come and tell the judge in the United Kingdom why he has been killing people.
Perfect.
So he goes to Saudi Arabia instead for medical treatment. I have also placed a caveat for the first time. Let me tell you, the people of Southern Cameroon, it is me who placed a caveat against Paul Biya never to step in the United Kingdom again. If he comes, he will be on handcuffs. He will get his medical treatment on handcuffs. And let Paul Biya listen and watch me. I'm not using guns. I am using the brain. Let's fight. Bring your lawyers. Let's finish it. I studied the same subject, maybe to the last iota on planet Earth, and I'm ready to defend. In being Sunday, I want to give what gives me strength, the Bible. I quote the Bible, the letter of Paul to Philemon. Paul wrote to Philemon, chapter 1, Philemon 1, 1 to 15, or chapter, verse 15. Go and look at it. He said, he was taken as a slave, but he's your brother in Christ. Accommodate him. Bring him back. Those who read the Bible, open it up. That is why one person, whether one or two taken away from you, despite all these differences, I'm now meaning Dr. Ayaba, you have to come in and step in and bring him back. Read that verse. As Southern Cameroonians, never lose one person in a struggle and keep quiet. That's why for me, I am as a man who has attested, who can dismantle courts, who can dismantle ICC. I dismantled the ICC in from 2010. I have been against 2005.
Okay.
I've been against ICC. So, in a summary, that's what I am.
Perfect. Thank you very much for bringing us that much clarity. And I am sure Ambazonians are so privileged and humbled to have you to stand up for them, because not so many people are out there who are willing to stick their career, stick their reputation, stick everything for a people that is not even his own people or their own people. They've lost their humanity. So once again, I say thank you for joining me today in the studio to talk much on what has been happening in Ambazonia and why you have stepped in. So before we go in, sir, I would like to begin. How could you share with us what initially drew you to the Ambazonian crisis and led you to advocate for justice and accountability on such a global stage for the people of Ambazonia? Please talk to us freely. Yes.
Thank you very much. 8 years ago, I opened up a television station in Kenya, Nairobi, called Punchline Africa Television. I think you know about it.
I do.
While I was doing my programs under investigative journalism and trying to overthrow Yahya Jammeh, I don't like dictators. I'm the one who overthrew Yahya Jammeh, brought him down. I have no mercy. I took my satellite systems into Senegal and the River Gambia in a hotel. He didn't know where I was because he closed all the television stations. Something cropped up in Southern Cameroon, where they said people are not allowed to send the money home. Mr. Paul Biya cut off Western Union, where they said teachers, English teachers should speak French, magistrates should speak French. My God, I came across such a report. I put my investigators I have several people that who work for me. At that time, I had like 46 people working for me worldwide in my television station. I told 2 or 3 researchers to find out why is this guy stopping saying people should speak French before they are given services. That it drew me to something bigger. A demonstration started. People started saying no, they cannot. They are not going to go to school. People close schools. Paul Biya forced people to go and speak French. Surely. So I went deeper. I looked at Resolution 1608 of 1961, which had actually got a referendum. I found out that, oh my God, this is the good food I've been looking for. And I got it. And this is not a joke. I have never asked anybody for my single coin. Nobody in Ambazonia had a radio station. Right. Nobody. Not even Saku. I hear Saku say, Saku was interviewed by me. I was the one interviewing Saku.
I know.
Yes. And it is on record. If he says, no, I'll bring all these records out. I don't want people to masquerade. I am not looking for money. I don't want masqueraders. People are dying in the forest. Akwanga, all these people, I want them to listen to me today.
Right.
I have warned them. I warned them before. As an elder, I'm not their age. I'm older. And I warned them that I've been in rebel activities before. Take this step, take this step, take this step, take that step. And I'm speaking frankly in front of your executive. Let them listen to me. I am not a man you buy with money. Okay. Do I tax people for my work I do. But when I look for you like Mr. Muhammad Buhari and Paul Biya. I fix agreement, documents. I catch you by documents. Let them try to fly into London again. Pinochet case will come. So don't worry about that. So I looked at all these things. I said, no, my God, these people, do they have a voice? I dedicated my television station. In the name of God, Angel Gabriel is watching, the nearest that we have ever heard about. I said that 2 hours every day we talk about the situation in Cameroon. First, the Kenya government wanted to stop me. But as things progressed, they understood the plight. One of their priests, a Kenyan priest, was killed. You remember?
Yeah.
A father from Kenyan Catholic Church. That is when the Kenyan government said, oh my God, this guy was right. I got momentum. I got in touch. There's a younger man, there are younger men in South Africa. And I want to take this opportunity to thank them. I said, partner with me now. I will be releasing so many of these things on Paul Biya now. I am working on Gambia to install Adama Barrow and remove Yaya Jame. But I am not giving my people of Southern Cameroon. I want them free. I want to know why the UN, the Commonwealth, the AU, that flanny guy called Dr. Muhammad Faki, why doesn't he bring the topic on the table in AU? What is the problem?
Exactly.
And I got it. I got the real answer. I saw exactly. I know a lot of things. Now we started. These guys in South Africa started doing my programs. I used to have, they could pick my program from Nairobi. It went on, it grew up. Mr. Sako came and asked for interview himself.
Right.
I didn't know. Me, as I sit here, I don't know your factions. I don't want to know your factions. Okay. Your factions are your factions. I'm not fighting for leadership. I am fighting for the women, the children, the people who have never eaten food since 8 years ago. They are on the run. They are being raped. They are being defiled. They are being maimed. They are being houses distracted. The children have not gone to school. That is what I'm fighting for. I'm not using a gun. I am going to use the tools of analysis that I went to Canterbury University, London Guildhall University. The universities in London, not in America, not on the streets of New York, where I bought degrees. No, I went inside the classroom. I want to argue with the British, with the Americans, with the Europeans. What is wrong? Why are you not indicting Mr. Paul Biya? Okay.
Wow.
When I learned about that, I said, oh my God, I must help these people.
Wow.
There is one man who brought me closer to you. He was my lawyer. And my lawyer is a Southern Cameroonian.
Okay.
In the whole world. And that lawyer is called Charles Taku.
Oh, great.
Charles Taku, when I opposed the ICC wanted to lock me up for 5 years. Because I blew up ICC witness OTP number 4, a liar. I looked for him. I'm a very bad guy. When I look for you, when I come for you, you know that program of New York. There's nowhere to hide. I got that man. He has been lying. I got him. OTP number 4 of the Chief Prosecutor's Office, Moreno Ocampo. He said he has never seen Moreno Ocampo. Moreno Ocampo is lying. I got him. They took me to ICC, interrogated me. My lawyer is a Southern Cameroonian in the whole world. I'm a lawyer also, but right. I have a lawyer. If you touch me, that man will come for you. Anywhere. A very good lawyer from Southern, very intelligent man who has won cases. We have worked together. This man pushed me. I asked him, look, your people are being killed. You are not an activist. You're a lawyer, but I am a lawyer and an activist. I am I'm gonna keep on this line, and I'm gonna be there. I worked out. We talked until, and I want to be very sincere here. When you people started having factions, people quarreling over TV, over social media, some masquerading as spies, I withdrew.
Okay.
I withdrew. And I want to tell you people, I know you, some of you who masqueraded as spies, some who wanted even, I don't know, I don't want to say much between now and, but I will say much later on. Let me continue with what I'm doing. Perfect. Another person who has brought me closer, let me clear this mess. On 24th of November this year, there is a bishop in United States of America called Ayuk, Moses Ayuk.
Okay.
This man has been praying for me every day. I said, why? From 2016, he has been praying for me also. Praying for me every day. Longover says, pray. David, he calls, he was where he's being, he prayed for me. He said, don't leave us. It looks like God has said, you must work. You must help us. We don't have money. We don't have what? But it looks like God has told me in vision, help us. Give a credit to Bishop Moses Ayuk. And he knows who else. I don't want to say more than that.
Yes,
Ayuk, yes, Ayuk, Moses, and I looked at the situation currently. After a 2 years lapse of free, I gave up because of your divisions. People were this, people were that, another group that. In fact, all these things happening to Ayaba, it is your own internal problems there amongst you. You are the ones reporting.
That's correct, sir. And we will come to that.
As you come to that, let me tell you a point. 24th of November. I, not Saku, I know I worked with Karim Khan. Karim Khan was a lawyer of the suspects. I was the defender of the same suspects of Karim Khan was defending. We know each other. We have blood connections. We know each other for a long time. a period over 10 years. On 24th of November, I said, no, enough is enough. Mr. Paul Biya has crossed the line. I got my documents, and anybody trying to masquerade that he filed his in 2020, then why did it wait for 4 years? Let him bring it here. Let's see the reasoning, the way you frame. I am an insider of that system. I know how they work. I framed my position of ICC very nicely. Perfect. That there is no room for Mr. Karim Khan. And I even told Mr. Karim Khan, you're a British national. I will take you down to Belmarsh.
That's right.
If you don't go, in the name of God, I told him face to face, if you don't go this time, I will file a case in the oil belly that you are betting crimes and war crimes in Cameroon. The British will bring you down, you will be locked, and you will go and be with Taylor in Belmarsh.
Thank you very much, sir. And
so
I'm happy
that is why this current situation now, as far as the ICC, and I am not yet done, Mama. I am not yet done, Mr. Paul Biya.
Sir. Don't be done.
Yes,
we need you to
I am not yet done.
energized.
There is something in weeks to come. You are gonna celebrate. You are gonna celebrate. I am on this one this time. Before Mr. God takes me or takes Mr. Paul Biya, one of us has to account for what is going on. Why do you kill people and then masquerade as a leader?
That's right. And thank you very much for clearing the air on the issue of who submitted what at the level of the ICC. And actually, my interview today is not here to satisfy some naysayers about who did and who didn't do. What is most important for us today is
I wanted to clear that air. Let me tell you, my sister, I wanted to clear that air. In 2020, the chief prosecutor was not Karim Khan.
Exactly.
It was a woman called, another dangerous woman whom I will be arresting very soon in London. She has now, I told Adama Barrow when I visited him, I said, how did you give this woman an ambassadorial post to hide as a diplomat? Otherwise, I would have picked him high in London in Hampstead. She's very bad. Besuda, Fatu. They all visited. They visited Paul Biya, receive presents. They don't charge the man.
That is correct. That is 100%.
That is the clarity. And that if you file yours in 2020, ask Besuda, mine was in 2024, actioned, and I have documents here, actioned with certificate. I am not bothered about and I'm not doing it for money. If you collected money from people that you are filing an application in ICC, oh my God, return it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. It's very important that these things are made clear to the public. And like I said, my focus on today's interview is not to satisfy anybody's egoism or trying to take credit for what they didn't do. I am more concerned on the action that you have taken and what it would do for Ambazonia and how it can impact the Ambazonian revolution and bring, solution to our people. And so, once again, sir, the Pan-African Forum has made significant submissions to the European Union, the Commonwealth of Nations, and the ICC for accountability to hold Cameroon's actions in Ambazonia. How do you see these efforts influencing the international community's response to the crisis? Specifically, what impact would these submissions have on Cameroon's standing with these international organizations?
Thank you very much. Last week, on 10th, I submitted an application in the European Court of Justice of Human Rights, not European Court of Justice, and mark you, European Court of Human Rights.
Human right, yeah.
ECH in Lux.
Yeah.
That is where I submitted my application. The application, 2 applications, they fall under Article 5, 6, 10, 13 of the European Court of Human Rights.
Okay.
These articles fall under the Geneva Convention, International Convention on Human Rights, arrest of people, detention without trial, activism, which is a law in Europe that you are allowed to advocate how it has been suppressed. At petition number 1, these are the following people who are in court. The applicant is myself, Pan-African Forum. I live in Croydon, Surrey, United Kingdom.
All right.
The respondents are the following.
Right.
1, Johannes Gahr Store, the Prime Minister of Norway.
Okay.
Christina Osteni, the criminal investigator, director of Norway's National Investigation Services.
All right.
3, Espen Barth Eide, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Norway.
Norway, yeah.
4, Emily Eger Mera, the Minister of Justice and Public Security of Norway.
Right.
5, Annalena Baerbock, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Germany. Are you there now?
I'm listening, sir.
The subject of the application was seeking an injunction through the European Human Rights Court and the intervention of the European Court of Human Rights in the case of Norway's complicity in the illegal arrest of Southern Cameroon activists and the illegal detention of a German national, Dr. Ayaba Cho,
Sure, you're right.
and Norway's failure to address and report gross human rights violation in Southern Cameroon due to complicity with the regime of Cameroon, contrary to all European human rights conventions and articles 5, 6, 10, 13 of European Court of Human Rights. It is tabled here, stamped, under their guidelines. You can see for yourself here.
So, yeah.
You see my signatures? They are here.
Yes, I see.
You can see. You must. They send you the forms themselves, and any lawyer who is telling you any other lie is in his own problem, not me.
Perfect.
The forms you fill accordingly. The forms are sent, which I have sent. These are copies. They are here. You fill the forms, which have got answer all the questions: who you are, what you do, and file an application. Before it is admitted, you are given a locator number. I have now got my locator number.
Correct.
With my address, which I cannot fly around everybody, and the Paul Beer comes to wait for me on my doorsteps.
That's
okay?
Correct.
There are people who are saying, oh, give us this, give you what? I have not asked for money for fees. No.
Exactly.
This costs almost $500,000 to go to European court. What I've done, but I don't do for money. I do for that younger man. I call him younger man. I met them sometime, bounced into them somewhere in London.
You're right.
With a man called Akanga. And I think one of your members is here can verify that I told them.
We can all verify that, so we in the leadership.
So I have done, that is application, that is application number 1. Don't, any lawyer must have strategy.
That's true.
Wait for another shocker. Application number 2. This is a shocker for you. You see, you people, when you allow these countries, this white bazungu running around, threatening us. You can conquer them on law. Application number 2 is Dr. David Matsanga, the applicant of Pan-African Forum.
Yeah.
I live in Croydon, Surrey, London, United Kingdom. Respondent, the Kingdom of Norway.
Correct.
The Ministry of Justice of the Kingdom of Norway.
Norway.
Let me tell you why. Why? By European Union, and this is the application.
Correct.
Some people might think, whoa. That I don't like the whoa in Africa. Howling must be accompanied by substance. That's what I read. Howling must be accompanied by substance. Stop howling. Let's have substance. Let me tell you, this application takes Norway to the European Court of Justice. The whole country, ministry, the whole government must come to the court. And guess what? It is here, stamped. Everything is here. And I choose Norway for the following. Norway's failure to raise a red flag. Are you hearing me? Norway's failure to raise a red flag on gross human rights violation committed by the government of Cameroon against the people of southern Cameroon due to 1, economic benefits, 2, concessions indirectly or directly from the Cameroonian government. Hello?
Yes.
Did you see that coming?
We didn't see that particular one coming, sir, to be honest.
You didn't. That's why I've got the doctorate. And other lawyers lie you, they have simple degrees. I've got a doctorate. This is the only thing that will take Norway to release Ayaba.
Thank you, sir.
Because they are also, yes, they are also culprits. You have not raised. Where has Norway gone in court? Accused. It is going for gas, oil, concessions. They are being given contracts. They are doing it over human rights abuses that are taking place in Cameroon, in southern Cameroon. Okay. Where have they? Where on earth? Show me. I'm bad man in the court. Show me the document where you have placed Norway on red list. Did you raise a flag? Yes or no? You didn't. So I have told Norway, my lordships, the 27 judges of the European Court of Justice, 27 countries. I want to ask them, some of them are communists. They don't want to hear your nonsense. They want to hear, did you raise a flag? Yes or no? Some people among of you, some people are saying, who can go to court? Anybody. No lawyer. Your lawyers should not lie you. How do you waste your money going to a Supreme Court that has already detained your client?
Okay. Sir, I'm really glad that you brought all of this up because there are a lot of questions.
Bring them here now. Let's swag it. Bring them here, we swag it. How do you go to the same man who has already taken your goats and say, I am going to go to the higher place to seek my goats? Go to another place which can say, hello, Norway, are you aware of this? By tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Norway will be looking for you. They want to know this. They want to come to Brussels to reply. Okay. Hello? Yeah, to reply. Sir. They have to reply.
I would like you to talk more on this. Thank you very much for that, for expatiating on this and also bringing more light and throwing more light on what awaits Norway and what you've done that we even didn't know you've done it, because we know about what you did with the European Human Rights Court, the Commonwealth of Nations as the ICC, but we didn't know you had petitioned Norway. Okay, I think your camera went off. but I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me okay, sir? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think his light has gone off or something. So let's just give him a few minutes to come back. But please keep putting in your comments and please sending in your questions. If you have any questions for Dr. David Masanga, please drop them in the comment section and I will pick them up and I will ask him so he can bring us clarity. We just lost him there, but I'm sure he will come back and you can see the fire in him. So by all means, we have to have him back because we have so many questions to ask him and we are happy for what he has done so far. And we are delighted to know that there is somebody fighting for Ambazonia, but there is somebody fighting for our leader. So he's back. Thank you very much, Doc. We thought we've lost you there, but
no.
Yes.
Imperialists are now panicking. Norway is panicking now because they didn't know that this was coming.
They didn't know that it was coming, but unfortunately for them, you've saved them.
They are concentrated. The other first application is seeking an injunction in the court, and I've laid reasons, 27 pages of reasons, attached annexes. Why it is necessary for you to campaign for your freedom, if there is any. If you have no room, you can even call for any form of why. If someone says there is terrorism, why is Norway supporting Syria? Why? Who took over Syria? Let's go. Let's go. Who took over Syria? Isn't it the terrorists they wanted to arrest? Why do you hold a person who is simply saying you are not even raising a red flag, but you are keeping us quiet? There is no case. I went behind you, all of you. I went to Germany, and the German contacts of mine gave me all the background of Mr. Dr. Joe Ayaba. There is no crime he has ever committed in Germany. Germany is not looking for him.
That is correct. And
yes, and I have attached that to the court in a European court. This guy, if German, a citizen, saw these activities, why is Norway? Why Norway has come in is because they have been given gas cylinders, gas exploration, oil, money, diamonds. That's what the government in Yaoundé does. Exactly, and that's what the government in Yaoundé has done.
Are you aware that Cameroon government signed a contract with the Norwegian company called...
Please, I have put it there, very aware. I've even got the document. Paul Obia will be shocked. Even his intelligence is the one who sent it to me. They didn't know what I was trying to do. I said, can I have this contract? I got it. Yes, I am deadly in investigations. You can't manage me. I've got it and I've attached it for the judges that if this is not the case, look at this. The benefits. Why Norway is pushing to arrest, to silence people.
To silence the voice of someone who is speaking for his people, who is standing for the injustice that is being done against his people. And,
let's go.
And yet Norway is lauded across the European Union and across the world as a defender of human rights.
Exactly.
And today we see Norway has truly shown its true color to the world, because we have always looked at Norway as a beacon of hope when it comes to human rights defending. And also to think that Norway has gone through what Ambazonia has gone through itself, and the rose to arrest a human rights defender, a justice defender, a freedom fighter is something that is really questionable. And you must ask, what is behind what is the rationale for Norway arresting Dr. Cho Ayaba? And I'm happy that you've brought out these deals that Cameroon has signed with Norway, so that the world must know that it is not about protecting the war against people inciting violence, but there is some level of political interest and economic interest attached to the action of Norway on what they have done. And since we are talking about this issue of Dr. Ayaba, sir, under the international law, particularly under the Universal Declaration on Human Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, arbitrary arrest and detention are prohibited. On what legal ground exactly can we say that Norway is detaining Dr. Ayaba?
I have made this application. Some people, I am coming to that. I had forgotten to clarify something.
Okay.
Some people ask questions. Why? How can you go to court? Under Article 34 of the European Convention of Human Rights, establishes the right of individual and governmental organizations like mine, groups, to submit applications to the European Court of Human Rights when they believe that their rights under EUHRC, all its protocols, have been violated. I have gone to court as a representative of the people of Africa, a people, an organization that deals with human rights, against human rights.
Right.
To file an application that there is someone who has oppressed someone somewhere.
Exactly.
And that is under Article 34, which is very clear, and you can read it. It's a long article. I published it, dumped there for them. They can't say it has not been violated. If you have arrested him, why don't you give him bail?
That's a 1 million question, or the 1 billion question.
Why are the lawyers? Why are the lawyers? Why are the lawyers? If they are not detaining him politically, why are the lawyers of the man in Norway not seeking bail?
Exactly. And
why are they not asking for bail?
For the first bail, it was rejected. What is the rationale behind this rejection? Especially
it is political.
They keep giving all these flimsy excuses about altering evidence. How do you alter evidence on somebody you've not even really charged that person to, and then you're saying that they are altering evidence? They keep to continue to keep this person incarcerated. And Doctor, I was also on the aspect of universal arbitrary arrest. We talked about what the Universal Declaration on Human Rights talked about and what the ICCPR talked about. But also, this is even more important because I know since you submitted a document at the European Human Rights Court, the continuous detention also breaches Article 9 of the European Human Rights, the European Convention on Human Rights, especially because Norway is also a party to this convention. So I don't know at what level Norway would tell us that the Norwegian law is completely different from the European law, even if they are not part of the European Union.
No. That is now, my sister. Those who talk to you like that are laymen.
Right.
Then why do you get one visa and travel in all places?
That is a question.
Ask them. No, don't ask me, ask them. Anybody who talks like that is a layman. Because Norway is subjected to European law.
Exactly.
That's why when you get a visa from France, you are able to travel to Oslo, back to Denmark, back to Hague, back to Luxembourg, back to this Ukraine, this, all those places, sorry, not Ukraine, all these places of European Union. Now, one visa takes you. Norway is obligated under Article 19, established by the court to ensure observance. First, clear this thing of the gas, observance of agreement. Before you sign the agreement, make sure that human rights where you are signing are not being trampled on. Article 19 is here. It's here. At the bottom. Here we are. That one is one. Norway is obligated by the European Court under Article 9 to serve, to be part and a parcel of the findings, the bindings that bind Norway as a member, corroborative member. For example, United Kingdom has gone away from European Union. But if you have a case in UK and you are not happy, you can still go to the European Court of Justice and be able to call Britain, which is a non-member of European Union. So anybody telling you that under Article 9 you cannot, they are just doing it for the case of laymen. They are supposed to adhere to the principles. You are not supposed to kill the rights of a person, to arbitrarily arrest and say we don't follow here. Then you follow here. Do you live on Venice or Mars? Tell us, where do you live? You live on the same land, the same train, the same roads connecting Sweden and Norway. So if Sweden is in the European Union, will you refuse its people from coming to Norway?
That's right.
So there we are. Any more questions? Go ahead with your questions.
Yes, sir. I'm just, because on this issue of Dr. Cho Ayaba, there's been a lot of concern that is rising, especially because most people look at Norway to be in the heart of Europe and is abide by European Union laws or by European standard laws that we've been preached to. We've been told human rights, we must hold value to human rights, we must promote and protect human rights. But at the same time, they are they breach all of these lay down principles that they put and they preach and force them down the throat of others, but they are the first persons that violate it. We are seeing how Norway is violating different international human rights law articles when it comes to the arrest and detention of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba. We've seen where the Universal Declaration of Human Rights comes in on arbitrary detention and searches of home under the ICCPR and many of these articles, and yet we are here clamoring for human right that is protected against protected against some people, and yet it is not protected against others. So again, I want to ask you this: what can be done apart from the submission that you have put in to hold Norway accountable for this? Because we know that several searches have been done, many things have been done, and yet there is no evidence against him yet, and yet they still hold him down without any, no bail. What can be done for him to actually be released? Because for Norway to hold its own part of the bargain by respecting these human rights that he's a European citizen. His rights cannot just be violated like that.
Ma'am, why did I file 2 applications? Am I not clever? 2 applications. 2. 1, my sister, the first application is seeking an injunction. Can I read it for you?
Go ahead, viewers, give the part just a summary of it, because I know I am
not reading all of it. Of course, I am not. But the first application is to seek an injunction. To seek, you can, the Supreme Court of that land of Europe is not that small court of Norway Supreme Court. You are going to a wrong court. That court cannot give Mr. Ayaba freedom.
Right.
Whoever is telling you that is misleading you. The only court that can intervene now to say there is something wrong here, answer.
Right.
And as we go for preparation for you, now first the man is seeking an injunction, a stop to that case. The only court that can now superintend, the English word is to superintend upon the Norwegians.
Right.
is when they feel this document arrive to them. What is going on? They thought, oh, Africans are very stupid. But there is an Africans have arrived with documents saying, oh, there is something wrong here. And it is going to expose our deal of gas, the cylinder. I've even put there how much they paid bribes.
Exactly.
No, bribes. I have exaggerated by saying bribes. How they paid bribes to people. You know, excuse me, we are not as stupid as these guys think.
Exactly.
So the only court that can stop the mess is a bigger court.
Okay.
Otherwise, that court of Supreme Court, believe me or not, is going to say the lower court is right. Is Mr. Ayaba a flight risk? No. Okay. Release him and tell the German government that that man should not leave Germany. Detain him, detain his passport, so that he doesn't travel, but have freedom for him to exercise his rights.
Right.
You can investigate without him having a passport seated there. Why are you not taking his passport? That's already a violation of human rights under Article 6 and Article 13. It says right to any remedy. He has a right to remedy.
Right.
Article 5 says he has a right, provides for everyone to have a right to liberty, security, to have a right to bail. You don't refuse somebody's bail because you think in Europe, in Africa, he could go to River Nile or River Gabon or River Zambezi or River Congo and hide and say he died. But in Europe, you know where he has gone, especially Norway.
History.
Yes, especially Norway. Norway people are very few, 4 million people. You can know who is who in Norway. Prisons are empty. In Norway, they give you even a date when to come to jail, to be jailed. Did you know that? I have studied that system of European Union. In Norway, they can sentence you today, then tell you, my sister, wear your good shirt, the last one, and say bye-bye to your husband. And remember, tell him I'm not coming. I will see you after 4 years. You know, they give you that time. So why are they refusing to release this gentleman?
And it's appalling to even know that even at this level, there is a lot of restriction as to what can be said and what cannot be said by his own lawyer and even his family. So it's a very delicate situation.
Because do you know why they are restricting?
Coming up.
Do you know why they are restricting you? Do you know why?
No, sir. Tell us. Tell Ambazonians.
It's political.
Right.
This application has touched them. You will see. They will release him. They don't want this to flow. They don't want the judges to see all these gas agreements.
Oh, they don't want their dirty lenience to be to be shown to the public.
That is what we should have done. That is what we should have done. Yes, we should have done that long time ago. And I say, don't waste time that way. Let's go here and ask them, why are you not giving the man bail? Exactly. Even in London, if you arrest Dr. Matsanga in London now.
Irrespective of what the crime is.
Yes. Right. Yes. The judge will say, has been his good background. He has been a good man with 8 good children, well grown up and well mannered. Let him go home and we shall come back. That don't approach this place. Don't go here. Sit home.
And there's been a lot of questions coming up on the issue of indictment, like, repatriation, that they can, they can send him back home,
To send him home once you get a nationality. Are people mad? These are your political opponents who are doing so. How can you say send him home where? The man has a German passport. Exactly. Once you get In the law, have you read your law in this Republica? The Republica passport, once you have it, and you get another nationality, you are no longer, you can't, it doesn't, so send him where to be charged, where, for what, and what, how?
You know, so this is because a lot of people are questioning that Europe is known for its values for human rights. If they can violate your rights to freedom of speech, right to detention, they hold you arbitrary, then the principle of non-refoulement can also be violated. So this is what the concerns are rising. Because if you can violate a valuable principle as that of freedom of speech, then we can also question how much percentage do we have for them not to violate the principle of non-refoulement.
A non-refoulement would be violated if we had not gone to Europe. This is the savior for you. Ma'am, can you look at me? Let me take off the glasses. If you continue with that Supreme Court, what you are saying you are waiting for something in the Supreme Court, they will take him at night, dump him in your wound.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
That's right. Okay.
If they can find Umar Diko, if the British can look for Umar Diko, you remember Umar Diko, whom Buhari wanted to kidnap and put in a coffin?
Right.
They looked for him until they found him in a coffin in Stansted Airport, ready to be taken. They removed him. Nobody can do that in Europe. Norway cannot afford. It will be banned. Even if they will ban him, they will ban him. They will ban them from anything. They can't. But why they are stopping you not to talk about the case? They want to harass you. They want to scare you. While you are being scared, still crying, one morning you will go to that court, you will not find Ayaba.
That's correct. That is correct. And this is why we are having this kind of conversations, and we are having people like you speak up, because the more we have voices out there speaking, it would deter them from doing the unthinkable, because we know how Cameroon operates. It's known for hunting its prey, and it's known for killing them, collaborating and giving whatever that needs to be given to make sure that they achieve their agenda. But we know that this will not be the case of Dr. Ayaba. Sir, given that Cameroon's current status as a member of the United Nations General Assembly and the Human Rights Council, what are the implications of these international platforms continuing to grant Cameroon such status while it is involved in widespread human rights violations in Ambazonia? How can the submissions challenge their status at this level?
The submissions are criminal. The submissions about the status are challengeable in another court.
Right.
That's why I'm telling you, wait and see.
Right.
There is no sleeping. I am not sleeping. This man is not sleeping.
Right.
I am a man who is not awake. Who is awake until this is solved. You either release this guy on bail, or we go ahead. We go ahead. There are so many channels. That one of Cameroon being in the United Nations is one of the most ineffective situations, because you Southern Cameroonians and the Cameroonians themselves and the African Union are not united. It should have gone already somewhere else, that these guys, if we can stop North Korea coming to UN, what is difficult? Trump has come back. You remember towards the end of Trump's administration, he was going to put a no-fly zone over, you remember?
Exactly.
And Mr. Paul Biya, be warned, by next year, there will be no fly zone over that area where you are killing people.
That's right.
Some of us worked with Susie Wills, Matsanga and Wills. Paul Biya don't threaten people. this, we shall get you. I'm telling you, we are going to get you on something small. Try. No, this Paul Biya threatens people. Can you, Mr. Paul Biya, have a plane and come to Heathrow? Come to Heathrow. Come to Heathrow Airport.
The question,
no, wait, my sister. Right. You people in Southern Cameroon have been threatened too much. Please, Your Excellency, your medicine is in a hospital in Charing Cross. Can you come? And come with your wife.
And a mad daughter included.
No, daughter, children. We need the wife. Come with mommy, and you will see the fire. You step at that Heathrow, you will not go back. I've laid paperwork there. You have been joking. Come pass it through London. Enough is enough. You people, some of us have been working tirelessly to make sure that Africa becomes a better place. We are beggars, but we are not beggars before God, before the eyes of God. That's why I told you, read Philemon, Paul's letter to Philemon. Read it for me, Google it there.
Right.
Verse 15, you will see it. It says, if one of you is gone, don't celebrate. Look for him. He's also a son of Christ, only that he's a slave.
That's true.
That is this man. Those people, whether SACU, whether who, whether organization, this is not the time. This is not the time for you to fragment yourselves. Please, this is the time to unite. Mr. Sako might be in your...
The truth is that when it comes to the Ambazonian revolution, we have people who genuinely fight for this struggle, and we have those that have been sold or have been bought, and they still posture themselves as people fighting for the struggle. So you must be able, I hope that you can find a way to draw a line between those people who still come out to posture themselves as fighters in the Ambazonian revolution, whereas they are just fighting and propagating the agenda of La République du Cameroon. There is a difference with those people, and genuine Ambazonian fighters and groups, we always collaborate. There is just this narrative that there is a lot of division. Indeed, there is, but these are the people, the ones for this division are the ones that have been paid by La République. They just go out there and set in confusion and let the world think that we are too divided, but we are not. When it comes to what concerns Ambazonia, I can promise you that you will see Ambazonians turn up, just like they turn up in Canada. So this is very important for people to know. There are a lot of people still posturing themselves in this struggle as fighters of the Ambazonian revolution, whereas the agenda is just to push La République's agenda across the globe. That said, sir, let me come back to you on this. The Pan-African Forum submission connects broader Pan-Africanist goals of justice and sovereignty in Africa. This is what you've always stood for and you fought for in your career over many years. What strategies can be used to strengthen this submission to ensure that they resonate with the international community, African Union, and global institutions to see that they draw attention to the Ambazonian revolution?
Thank you very much. I have notified the African Union in my letter to the Commonwealth yesterday, Secretary General, my sister, Baroness Patricia Scotland. I have notified the King of United Kingdom,
right,
that there is a lady by name Patricia Scotland,
correct,
who visited Cameroon. And at night, she received presents. And I have attached a video. Ma'am, I've attached a video, not your things that you put on paper. Serious video by somebody close to...
That is, yeah.
Yes. And I don't want to put it to public. I am told Patricia, my sister, do something now, because these papers are going to reach the king. What did you receive in Cameroon? which made you to keep quiet. Yet the former Secretary Generals suspended Nigeria. Abacha was suspended from Commonwealth. Zimbabwe was suspended.
Exactly.
Why haven't you suspended Cameroon? What did you eat at night?
In Cameroon.
In Cameroon.
What envelope did you take?
You don't, because the video shows envelopes. So which one? Did you declare this to Her Majesty?
Exactly.
Why is it that the Queen died when she doesn't want to see you?
Question.
So
that is it.
Quickly, if before you leave office in April, do something. I am a friend of David Lamy, who is from Bahamas like you. You might be in trouble. You might have served so well, but you end up in Belmarsh.
Exactly.
You
Because
have
this
connived.
lady visited
You have connived.
Yaoundé.
Yes, you have connived with a man who has trampled on human rights in the Commonwealth, which is the first value of the Charter of the Commonwealth.
Exactly.
My sister, why have you kept quiet? My brother, Faki Muhammad, is it because you are Fulani and you have forgotten that the other tribes in that region? Is it because you are tall? Is it because you destroyed Idris? You connived with rebels to kill Idris? I'm honest, man. I'm very deadly. I face it as it is. Oh, you see, the chairperson of African Union calls the rebels who killed Idris to Qatar. Is it the same he has done with Cameroon? What was he given in Cameroon that has kept his mouth very shut? Completely shut with gum. This gum, there is a glue. What is it called? The one that cannot allow the mouth to talk.
Super glue.
Yes, super glue. That's why we want Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga cannot be closed. If Raila Odinga wins that seat, he would go. I am telling you, he will go in Yaoundé
himself.
You will see him seated in Yaoundé and say, dismantle this thing here, call your troops from southern Cameroon. I'm telling you, that's how we East Africans work. Have you seen me talking with any fear?
No.
Am I talking with any fear? That's Patricia Scotland, feed me. Am I looking for a job?
Okay.
Do I need a job?
No, that is true. And you know, the painful thing is that Patricia Scotland visited Yaoundé in the heart when we had the worst forms of massacres being committed in Ambazonia. It was at the time when we saw young men in Bali and other parts of Ambazonia gathered, massacred, their corpses set ablaze, and then they were buried in mass graves. This woman went in. We saw with all the hope, with protests, Ambazonians in the UK rose, went in front of the Commonwealth, hoping that when she goes in, there will be some level of internationalization of the Ambazonian struggle, and there will be some level of suspension on Cameroon. But this woman came back, and that was the last of it. It's the same thing with many other diplomats that have gone through in Cameroon. When they go, they receive the gold statue, they receive envelopes, they receive a lot of gifts, and then go home and nothing is said again. The same like Antonio Guterres, and also the former chairperson for the African Union, and many others that we have evidence of them receiving bribes from the government of Cameroon. And I'm happy that we are having this conversation, but talking about the African Union and the people on Africa. Doc, I'd like to ask you, why do you think that countries like Uganda or Rwanda that have seen and suffered the pain of genocide have been utterly silent on the Ambazonian issue, especially because President Kagame is still alive today? And we've had a lot of voices in Africa that have spoken against what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in Israel and Palestine. And yet in the very heart of Africa, where African children are being killed, are dying on a daily basis, the African continent is basically mute or utterly silent about the crisis in Ambazonia. What is the issue, sir? If you are well read and you've been involved in a lot of this African politics, what is the problem?
Let me tell you, first of all, Uganda is not silent. Have you ever seen Museveni go to Yaoundé?
No.
President Museveni has never gone to Yaoundé. Maybe he went when I was asleep in Indian Ocean.
No.
But he has never gone there. He doesn't like going there. Never. Kagame has, you see, Kagame can go to Morocco, can go to Burkina Faso, he can go to Senegal, but he's not going. They are not interested. Because, look, this is purely a government that still thinks of colonial mind, that Mr. Paul Biya is colonized to the level that he can attend a quick meeting in Paris, but not attend African Union.
That's right.
Have you ever seen Paul Biya in African Union?
No, we've not.
He fears.
I've not read of it. I've not seen it.
Yes, he thinks that they will arrest him there. No, Mr. Paul Biya, I'm in Britain. This is where I've put the papers for you. Try to pass here for medicine. You know, it can cure a bit of your problems. Pass here in Heathrow, Charing Cross Hospital in London. I'll get you. We shall give you medicine. That is what this. That's why African Union is silent. No motion, no agenda, no tabling. There is no record at all about what has happened in Ambazonia. Because Ambazonian in southern Cameroon, they pay money to the chairperson who is a Yoruba. That Yoruba chairman of peace and security.
Yeah.
Ayodele, you know him.
Yes.
The chairman of peace and security, who is supposed to gather this information. Yoruba like money like hell, like Obasanjo. Obasanjo and the money. You cannot put me together with Obasanjo in one plane we sit. I'll get out, or I'll jump out so that God can kill me quickly. I can't sit in the same plane, because what I've suffered with Obasanjo when we are doing this peace process of Congo embarrassed me. So there is no peace process that Mr. Obasanjo does if it doesn't have money. The same thing has gone to Yoruba man who is in African Union, Ambassador someone, and Doreen.
Yeah.
That guy cannot file an application, cannot even say, bring the agenda, and we put it on agenda. No way. They have been paid.
Okay. So it's unfortunate, to be honest, to think that African leaders are quick to talk about what happens in Europe. They are quick to petition the ICC for what is happening outside of the continent. And yet, especially like somebody like Cyril Ramaphosa, who is a South African's president, and South Africa that went through apartheid, considering that the whole of Africa rose when South Africa was suffering, to support South Africa, and then leaders of this day in South Africa see what is happening in Africa, and yet they stay silent. But I still question the fact, because you are an African, you saw what was happening to an African nation and to people that are your people, and you decided to take an action to submit write submissions to the European Human Rights Courts and the ICC, and also the Commonwealth of Nations and many others, the Norwegian government. We have heard people like PLO Lumumba speak about the Ambazonian struggle. We've also, may he so rest in peace, J.J. Rawlings of Ghana spoke so, bitterly about the Ambazonian struggle. But we've not seen that an advocate like yourself, or a Pan-Africanist like yourself, like people like Julius Malema, who talk a lot about African unity and African standing together, to even talk about this struggle. And we are wondering, when it comes to African unity and African liberation, does it end at the borders of Ambazonia, or what could possibly be? Let's forget about government. What about human rights defenders like yourself, sir? What could be the problem? Is this just political interest?
The problem.
or what?
The problem is this. my sister, look at my eyes. I filed this application pro bono.
Right.
Pro bono. And your executive are here. These applications are paid money. Are paid. You pay. Once you get the locator, you have to pay according to the bundles. I filed them pro bono. Other people ask for money. The people you are mentioning, they want money. You try them to call them for an interview with your television. They will ask you how much per hour. PLO will ask you for money. He's my friend. He can't speak at conference without money. You pay for his hotel. And Matsanga, you ask me to go and speak in Ghana. I use my money. My money. I don't ask for fees. Filing this application, a lawyer in Europe will ask you for $200,000. Honestly, before he touches any work, you will deposit that money. Pro bono, you must have a heart, like some of us have a heart. That's why God has left us to stay here.
Right.
At my age, when you look at me, when I tell you my age, unfortunately, I don't want to say it here, you will be shocked that I am a real African man. And is this the age? Are you sure? I am able, because God has left me to do this job. If I don't do it, I feel pained. If you like you younger people dying in exile, people dying in the forests, women dying in the forest.
Exactly.
The pictures going around. I have that heart. I don't have the heart of money. Mugabe told me to go and file an application. Do you know what? The lawyers who came from Europe, plus his Attorney General, they asked Mugabe for $2.5 million cash. Mugabe said, what? I heard about it. I flew to Harare. I told him I will file that application for bed and breakfast. He said, are you sure? You don't want extra money? I said, for what? I'm a national of the European Union. I live in Europe 40 years. I will file this application on bed and breakfast, Mr. President. Hey, he couldn't believe it. He gave me a ticket, bed, and hotel. And that's it. When I came back, when it had been filed with all my documents, he said he wants to give me something. I said, no, it's okay. Keep it to the hospital, in the Paranyata hospital in Harare.
Okay.
I have 8 children, they work. If I have no money, I'll ask one of them to help me. But I cannot tax on behalf of those
Perfect.
who are suffering in the forests of Ambazonia, in the tropics. I cannot ask for money. I can only ask for facilitation to file for the fees, not Matsanga to take anything. I have everything I want. I've seen it. I have a good house. Yes, I have a good house in the UK. I don't live in Brixton. I live in Surrey. Surrey. Madam, you know what Surrey is. Anybody who lives in Britain who is listening to me, a house there is about £3 million. Tax alone is too much. That's where I live. So I'm well off. I am not going to ask tax people. But when the problem with Africa is when everybody is a thief, most people are thieves, they think you are also a thief. That is where we have gone. That's why market is towards politics of howling and substance. Don't howl when you have no substance.
That's correct.
You shall injure this guy. This guy, if you continue going to Norway, hey, you will find one morning the man is not there, is in your wound.
That is correct. And that is never going to happen in Jesus' name. So Do these submissions serve as a turning point for African-led solutions to human rights crises, or do they reinforce dependency on European institutions?
Who?
The submissions
Us.
that you've made so far. Yeah.
This is a great job for Africa.
That's right.
It opens up Africans to come and study what they can do so that your human rights are not oppressed. We have a court of remedy. All these articles give you remedy. Even when you are going to be deported on the plane on the last day, these articles give you remedy. I took part in the Rwanda case of refugees from Syria and Afghanistan. It is me who helped the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to win the case. I was a technical advisor, and I gave details of why the Rwanda is not safe for men who are already terrorists in Syria who could be ISIS. Why do you want to take them there? Are we a dumping ground? I defeated Priti Patel and Rishi Sunak. I collapsed their government. I give account of Kagame was a refugee. How can a refugee himself transport other refugees?
To his country.
In Nairobi, he was driving a car, a taxi. I displayed taxi here, number, come, enter. I took all those pictures. The Bazungu said, oh, Lord, we won the case. My dear sister, watch me. This is going to be a landmark.
Okay.
Let Norway tomorrow or the other day receive their documents.
Right. And
they will start to think twice.
The drums will start hitting.
Yes, they will think twice.
He who calls the piper must do what? Must dictate the tune. Okay. That's good. Thank you very much, sir. And there is a question on the comment section. Somebody want me to ask you. He said, how long does the EU courts and Norwegian court and the ICC take to act when an application is submitted?
As agent. Okay. When you are agent, you pay fees.
Okay. Mr. Emmanuel, I hope your question.
I have paid the ICC. The ICC matter is already gone. It's done. They are there. The private investigators are there. I can't say more than that.
Perfect.
My friend, I knew ICC before SACO.
Before SACO?
Yes. In 2000. Don't tell me if you have collected people's money, eat it. Please. Don't bring don't bring Kisirani.
You shouldn't tarnish your reputation for
not even not me. Don't bring your bad luck near me. Because for me, I went to the organization. Karim Khan knows Matsanga.
Right.
Not you, Sako, sitting in America. Who are you known? Where are you known? Where? He knows me. We worked on Ruto's case with Karim Khan. And I told him, my friend, people are dying here. And you're a British citizen. If you don't do this, I'm going to take you to court in Britain.
That's correct.
For abating crime and war crimes. And it will fix you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
And then the ICC case, it takes short time, depends on how you have arranged your paperwork.
Exactly.
My paperwork was document by document by docket that look on this day at this place here attached. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look here. This day. So they are specific. They are going to go specifically to ask, did this happen here? Yes. Did this happen here? Yes. Then they come back to say, Mr. Prosecutor, there is a case.
Okay. And
that is maybe why my friend Sako and others, the application might have taken centuries. It went back to near Angel Gabriel, then it came to Venice.
Or drop in a trash can, maybe?
No, it went to Venice. And the prosecutor, they applied when the prosecutor Besuda was still there. So she flew into Yaoundé, you remember?
Right, yes.
And they discussed the matter with the envelope man. And it was over.
And he's very good at
yes,
giving
me
envelopes.
if the day you hear I'm in Yaounde, it will my father will come. My father will come from the grave.
So, can you tell us, is there ever a possibility for them to maybe ask for more evidence, more documents from you who submitted the application?
Yes,
to substantiate what you've put in place?
Yes, yes. My dear, look at the volumes. Look, this is the United Kingdom and the German agreement. This is the treaty. This is the border limitation.
Right.
This is the hazard. These are the human rights abuses that have occurred. Anything which is credible. Please don't do any pictures that are not worth it, and I get my discredited. I need real evidence which I have seen. I have machines that test that this is not a Photoshop. So I want pictures, things that are real. So they asked all these things. Then the judges sit down and you pay a special fee for a quick, what they call an agent certificate, for you to be heard quickly, because a case like the case of Ayaba is now bad case. The guy has not been given bail. They will get it a priority.
That's right.
Perhaps maybe before Christmas, they would have answered me.
Correct.
Or
and
they would have told.
And fingers crossed. Hopefully.
Yes, they would have asked Norway to submit their reply, replying affidavits. Did you arrest this man with guns? Where are the guns?
That's it.
Where are they? You say he's fighting. Where are the guns? Where are they?
That's it. And again, sir, just to bring out one more question on this Dr. Ayaba's case, I just wanted to know what steps can be taken to highlight Dr. Ayaba's detention as a case study for the violation of political activists' rights globally. What can we do to highlight this particular case as a true violation to political activists' rights? Because we've seen many of these. We've also seen the Nigerian PM picked up by Finland, who is also advocating for the freedom of his people, standing as a freedom fighter. So these countries, they come up just picking up point persons who are standing for their people and detaining them. And so how can we use this to advocate, for political activists around the world that are being picked up by governments with the help of the home country governments?
The activism in Europe is allowed.
Right.
Nobody should tell you you can't do activism. Article 5 says, Article 6 guarantees for a fair trial hearing in the European Union. Is Mr. Achaba hearing fair? No.
No, not at all.
They have stopped him. They have kept him incommunicado. They don't want relatives to see him. He has not been seen by people. They have stopped anyone communicating on the issue. So already they have violated Article 6. The civil rights obligations or the case of the criminal charge, it must be put in public. Did you find him with guns? Which type of guns? Which type of bullet? Which bullet? They entered the body of anybody. Any post-mortem done. Have you seen now the way I'm going? I can make you drink water with your mouth becoming dry when I'm asking those questions.
Exactly.
Show me the caliber. How many millimeters? How many millimeters? You see, how many millimeters were they shooting where?
Exactly.
It is like a Karim Khan, the chief prosecutor, issuing a warrant of arrest to Netanyahu. He did not investigate which type of guns went to Gaza. He doesn't have it. You need to send experts on the ground to pick those shells, bring them to court for the crime against humanity, genocide, to be qualified.
Exactly. Okay, so
this is only Norway trying to protect its gas project, where they have. That's it. And
exactly.
the more we expose them, the better. The more they now know that these Africans are no longer the real Africans we carried as slaves. They have become very deadly. The better.
Exactly.
That they can also go to court, use the same European Union with laws, all these articles.
Their own laws against them.
Yes.
Exactly.
These are their own laws. And file a case. I've done it.
That's correct.
I'm sorry. Correct. I've done it, Mr. Paul Rubia. I'm not fighting you by gun. I'm fighting you by brain. So bring other people who have brain in your country. Let's talk in court. Don't threaten people. Don't threaten me, because you are not my mother and father.
Okay. I
am an African. You are an African, but you treat African badly. You are treating all of us badly. Allow the people, the younger men. There are people who have not gone to school, who have not even gone to toilet in southern Cameroon.
For 8 years, yes, correct. Children,
because they have to ask for permission,
and they don't even know how to celebrate Christmas because
exactly.
Yes.
Let me tell you, my sister, I'd forgotten another thing. I was in that place.
Okay.
I went to apply when I put in the ICC pages. What prompted me? I went I wanted a warrant, the ICC, to go and look for Mr. Sarkozy, the former president of France. I went to Paris and I gathered everything. Why? Gaddafi died. Mr. Gaddafi left money, $4 billion with Mr. Sarkozy. Wow. And the court in France found Mr. Sarkozy guilty of possessing $4 billion.
That is a topic I'm interested in, Doc. I will definitely do more research.
So that is why I was there. And I decided, by the way, why can't I push for my brothers?
Yes.
That's how I have done my case. I've done the case of Sudan. I've done the case of Sarkozy. I've done the case of Paul Rubia and the other commanders.
Yes.
In that place. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll ask you one last question before you give your closing remarks. I know you are busy. It's been tiring, especially with the enormous work you have on your table.
And my wife is complaining.
Correct. Please just tell her that you should just bear with us 5 more minutes.
I've taken long. I've taken long since morning.
We will release you. Yes. We will release you in the next 5 minutes, sir. So, as someone deeply involved in Pan-African justice effort, what legal avenue remain on tap to ensuring that Cameroon and by extension Norway in Dr. Choayaba's case are held accountable for violation of international law?
There is no other court now. The other court is also another way is to go to one of the courts. Unfortunately, we need to use one country to go to African Court of Justice to wait for Norwegian foreign minister. When he travels to Africa, we arrest him.
Not correct.
That's another way. Anywhere you go and seek a summons, you don't seek a warrant, a summons. That when you see Norwegian foreign minister anywhere in African soil, arrest him.
Okay, thank you very much.
There is a provision in the African Court of Justice of Peoples and Human Rights. Yes. You can say, before he leaves for Oslo, can he pass Banjul or Arusha to tell the judges there that there is something that I did wrong, but I'm coming back, you know?
Okay.
You can inconvenience them if people in your side were cooperative, if people talked with one side. But as you know, my sister, I have been in a struggle. You know it. People don't talk with one side. People talk, some are interested in these things, some are not interested in these things. Some don't want to listen. We can do quite a lot to escalate this Cameroonian issue. Because you Cameroonians, if you talk, they will think you are Cameroonians. But when somebody sees a letter from a Ugandan who is not even married to a Cameroonian lady anywhere,
and it's taking up an Ambazonian
yes,
case. Yes,
it's credibility already.
That's correct. That's correct. Okay, sir. Thank you. And I will give you 2 minutes to give us your closing remark on this. It's been incredible.
Thank you. Any violation of human rights anywhere on the continent of Africa is an issue for Africa and for all of us. Any person who has been violated, whose human rights have been violated, as long as he's on the continent of Africa, must affect us. Whether it is happening in Kenya or Uganda or Cameroon or Southern Cameroon or Biafra or Libya or Sudan, we must inculcate the venues, the stamina, the impetus to move as a united force.
Okay.
Are we together?
We are together, sir. Okay.
We must have the impetus, the stamina to be able to work in unity of purpose as Africans.
Exactly.
That we should not sit back and watch while Ayaba is in prison. Another one is in prison, and they say, oh, it is his case. But had there been democracy, would Ayaba be in court? If there was democracy in Cameroon, if Southern Cameroon was given its rightful place, would Mr. Ayaba be in prison? Those are the questions you should ask people. He would be free. But because there is no freedom in Southern Cameroon, he needs to get it for his people. And all channels have been closed. There is no conference that Mr. Paul Biya has called for peace talks and endorsed by African Union. There is none I've seen. Or endorsed by UN. There is none I've seen. Don't tell me these women who run around, they are holding conference. No, those are spies spying on you. There's no conference they are holding. There are simply no conference on Cameroon held by an international entity that we can recognize. Therefore, given that there's nothing to do, what do? You sit and fold your hands? Constitutionalism does not mean only reading the Constitution. Constitutionalism can mean that if you have violated me, I can use other means. It's constitutional.
That's correct. And it's universal.
Thank you. And that is, if I was the one eating that case in Norway, the Norwegians don't understand English, I would finish them. You know? I wish they called me to be the lawyer there.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
God bless you all. All of you unite. Sako, who, all of you unite. Don't separate each other. Give credit to people. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Father Papa Moses Ayuk Taku. Thank you. You encouraged me prayers. For 8 years, this man has been praying me on my WhatsApp. My God, I can't sleep. Please, I have done what you want. Thank you, Papa.
We thank him. We thank him very much, Doc. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Masanga, your insights today have been both enlightening and inspiring, offering hope for justice resolution to the Ambazonian crisis. As we conclude, it's evidence that the fight for justice in Ambazonia is not just a struggle for one region, but a clarion call for the defense of on human rights, accountability, and self-determination across Africa, especially because you are a Pan-Africanist and you are a defender of justice and a freedom fighter, of course. The submission to the European Union, the Commonwealth, and the International Court of Justice, the International Criminal Court represents critical steps in ensuring that those responsible for atrocities are held accountable and that the voices of the oppressed are finally heard. And Ambazonians can never thank you enough for what you have done. So your commitment to Pan-Africanism and your tireless advocacy for justice reminds us that the fight for transcends borders is it is about the soul of humanity itself. As we move forward, the hope is that this effort will galvanize greater action from international institutions, African leaders, the ordinary citizens around the world. The people of Ambazonia deserve peace, dignity, and freedom to rebuild their lives. And we cannot thank you enough, sir. Your dedication and for sharing your vision with us today, and also sharing your hard work, your time, and taking you away from your wife, who is already calling me to let you go. So we just want to say
before you land, there's some smaller thing that I want to correct and amplify.
Perfect.
There are people amongst people might not have understood this.
Mm-hmm.
Cameroon is not a signatory of ICC.
That is true.
But Article 15 of the Rome Statute allows what we call priomoto.
Right.
Priomoto by law. You can own the chief prosecutor. I went and begged the chief prosecutor by kneeling down. Please, priomoto, can you go there? The chief prosecutor has a right, even when the country is not a member of ICC. When human rights, like in Southern Cameroon, have been violated. So the word priomoto,
right,
for priomoto is Italiana, is Latin. Check it. Promoto, what does it mean? Entering with your own, on your own initiative. That you have got complaints like the one that I submitted, which is compelling, which is fresh, not 5 years ago, fresh.
Thank you very much, Doc. And
thank you. You can enter. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Under 15 doesn't matter. He can later on, after he has seen something, he comes back to say, hey, trial chamber, pre-trial chamber, Secretary General, there is a problem here.
Exactly.
Then they will give him authority.
That is the hope.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And please do not shut your doors. Just keep your doors open for me. I will be hitting on your doors time and again.
No problem. As long as you knock hard, I will be hard.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much.
I want to thank all of you. I want to thank your executive, the chairman, and everybody, the vice, everybody. Don't be scared. You have done nothing wrong. You don't have guns in where you are.
Exactly.
If the guns are on the ground, someone has to prove you took them there. You never took any guns. Have you been involved in buying them? No. I wish I was in this court here. I wish. Please. In London, such a thing will not happen. No way.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And on behalf of the leadership, once again, we say thank you very much, the leadership of the Ambazonian Governing Council, and of course, the people of Ambazonia. We are all indebted to you in gratitude. And from us to you, we wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Long life and good health to you and your family. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless.
God bless.
God bless. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you.
Sir. Let's continue talking.
Thank you, sir. Okay, fellow Ambalanders, you've all heard from Dr. David Masanga himself. And I don't know what to say in conclusion. I am just in awe, just like yourself, for the incredible work that he's done so far, what he's doing, and the passion with which he's doing it is unmeasurable. And what can never be enough to appreciate him for what he's doing, putting his life, putting his career, all his life work at stake, just to make sure that the people of Ambazonia are heard. And we pray and hope that more will rise to join him in this fight. But we are grateful for what he has done so far, and Ambazonians will forever remain indebted to him in gratitude. So thank you very much. His Twitter handle is always on my tweets, and please let us do our best to follow him on Twitter, follow him on Facebook, and support what he is doing. He is an incredible a voice that we cannot afford not to support within the African continent, and for what he's doing. So God bless you, Ambazonia. For our refugees, I want to use this opportunity to wish you people a Merry Christmas. I know it is tough, and you'll be asking, why am I wishing you a Merry Christmas if you are in the bush or if you are in a refugee camp? The season is a season of love, because we love you, and because we are making sure, fighting, that you one day return back home to a place that you can call home. That is why I can boldly tell you that I'm wishing you a very Merry Christmas. That is why I am here now, sitting on this platform, talking to the world about what is happening in Ambazonia, bringing people that are talking about the Ambazonian case to our platform, so that the world will know exactly what is happening in Ambazonia. So with much love from us to you, we wish you a Merry Christmas. For those of you in the dungeons of La République du Cameroon, I want you to know that for no second have we forgotten about you. We are fighting. We are doing everything within our power to make sure that we all return back home to the place we call home. For the IDPs and all those that are in the different bushes across Ambazonia, we love you, and we are doing our best to make sure that whatever that is available reach you before Christmas, so you can celebrate Christmas in however way you can do it, just to celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because that is what the spirit that has been keeping us all this while. So God bless you, Ambazonians. Keep on fighting, and know that justice will surely be served to the people of Ambazonia. One for all and all for one. Short live the Ambazonian struggle, and long live Ambazonia. God bless you all, and good night.